Hi, Shalom, everyone. I'm going to continue the series of the great Rabbonim of yesteryear, and happens to be the 7th of Av. 4 years ago was the funeral of a great rabbi, especially a great rabbi from New York, Rabbi Yaaqob Menashe, or Chacham Yaaqob Menashe Z'tl, one of the great rabbis, great Kiruv rabbis in New York over the last 70 years, a rabbi that was very imbued and had huge passion within regards to the Sephardic heritage and really imbued it in many of his congregants and many other people. He really touched many people, not just in America, also internationally, and was very fluent in many, many languages reported over. So he passed away here in the month of Av only 4 years ago. It was reported over that he had a lot of connections with regards to Jewish communities in Australia, in England, in India, and many places in the world, Israel, and was connected to many, many great rabbis also. So let's explore some of just a few of the highlights within regards to the great Chacham's life. He was actually came from very, very great heritage. It was actually reported over. He was a direct descendant of the famous philanthropist David Sassoon, one of the great men in Jewish history. We've already spoken about Sir Moses Montefiore in a previous video. Also, he was very much among that caliber. He donated very generously to many, many Jewish causes in Bombay, respectively. He built schools over there, many synagogues, docks, as well as the famous Mנשה Z'tl family from Baghdad, which is very interesting. It's said over that he actually founded the famous Midrash Bet Zilka, where the great rabbis such as Ben Ish Chai and Hacham Abdallah Somech actually very much studied and taught over there also. We actually related over in various videos with regards to the Ben Ish Chai, Hacham, Yosef Chaim, and also the Abdallah Somech, Rabbi Abdallah Somech. The greatness of those rabbis. I believe it was Rabbi Abdallah Somech was one of the leading founding rabbis over there and really put a huge kiruv energy in the Iraqi Jewish community at that point in time. And I believe he was one of the great rabbis of Iraq, respectively. And also, his parents were great people also. His father was Rabbi Albert, and his mother was Rabbanit Rachel Menashe. And they were the leaders of the Iraqi Jewish community in Bombay, respectively. They had a very large Jewish community at that stage in time. In fact, it's reported over, he was the spiritual head of the entire community in Bombay, as well as also he had the title of the president of the Sassoon Trusts, also, which is a Sassoon family, have done incredible work for the entire world Jewry over the last few hundred years. It's actually Rabbi Yaaqob Menashe, I believe, he immigrated to England at the age of 11 also. And really was very much involved within regards to Torah learning and various different religious organizations in that respective place. He was reported over that he was fluent in many different languages also, which is a skill in of itself. He appreciated music, the Torah music itself respectively, and was incredible Kiruv outreach speaker, could connect to many inside the various different crowds, and was a very, very popular lecturer. There's many lectures, especially Hidabrut, have hosted him on, especially one of the most famous lectures. My favorite lecture, personally, is the one he said on Hacham Yosef Chaim on the Ben Ish Chai. I think it was like an incredible class, which I recommend everyone to listen to. I think that was hosted by Hidabrut, respectively, but there's many things online. He actually was famous for he was one of the first great Rabbonim that actually used the internet to spread Torah, especially the famous Torah Minute itself, respectively, which went out to many thousands of people on a monthly basis will benefit from the Torah teachings. I think there was something called a Torah Minute, which something I was also subscribed to and received, and that definitely gave me more advanced Torah knowledge every day, where he taught a lot in regards to Ben Ish Chai. But we will come back onto that topic in a few minutes. It's actually interesting that I think while he was at a younger age, as well as learning a lot of Torah and becoming extremely great inside Torah, he saw that there was at the time, within regards to Sephardi Minhagim, it was beginning to get lost, to erode at that stage in time, because many of the people from Sephardic countries ended up coming, especially the people that didn't come to Israel respectively. They came to England, came to America, and all different parts. And in many of these areas, it was predominantly Ashkenazic yeshivot over there, and flooding with many different Sephardic students. But unfortunately, at that point in time, through no fault of their own whatsoever, it would be very difficult to know what the Sephardic customs are or the Sephardic heritage. People are coming in and they want to mix in straight away, and that caused it to erode, let's just say, the minhagim at a very quick rate at that point in time. So he noticed this was an issue, like many people also see nowadays also. So he really imbued a passion and encouraged many of the Sephardi minhagim, taught it at an incredible rate over there, and made sure people will not forget it. Unfortunately, we see, and I personally know, unfortunately, a lot of Sephardi people that maybe had even changed their family names and taken drastic measures and don't know anything about their heritage, but he very much advocated that people should be proud about it. And Be'ezrat Hashem, many people have listened, and many people are reconnecting also within regards to the great heritage, which, remember, Sephardi communities itself, there were so many, there was hundreds of Rabbonim from many, many different countries, respectively, whether it was from Iraq, Iran, from Kurdistan, from Kazakhstan, from Azerbaijan, from the Bukharian countries, respectively, Bosnia, from Greece, Spain, Italy, Libya, Turkey, Tunisia. They had a galaxy of great Rabbonim, and their Torah life for thousands of years, these places did, respectively. And people were coming all over, especially to North America and to England and various different places. It would be very difficult to continue that connection from where people lived maybe for 1,000 or 2,000 years, which was a big shame. But we hope, Be'ezrat Hashem, that many people will reconnect, and many, many more yeshivot are going to grow all over the world, and especially in the land of Israel within regards to that. But he noticed that was an issue, and he very much wanted to increase the heritage and minhagim, respectively. What's interesting, he wrote a lot of works in regards to Chacham Yosef Chaim, who we mentioned before, the Ben Ishchai, respectively. He knew that many people will connect to Torah at a different rate also. And he brought the whole of Am Yisrael, especially closer to, within regards to the Torah, within regards to his excellent speeches, all the various different excellent lectures he gave. He wrote incredible essays also, wrote books and many, many videos online. And it's actually interesting, we're talking about that he was one of the first people that pioneered at the time, using technological advance at that stage in time within regards to promoting Torah at that time. We know that there was great rabbis, especially in Syria, Rabbi Eli Mansour, especially LearnTorah.com. They perpetuated probably millions of hours of great Torah work. And this was a big organization, but he himself actually brought the Midrash Ben Ishchai, all these Torah minutes, to many people. We're talking about Sephardim, Ashkenazim, everyone from all walks of life would benefit from these excellent lectures and excellent Torah classes online at a very 15, 20 years ago, which at the time there was no Torah Anytime and all these things. So that was the main source, especially at that point in time, for many people learning Torah, listening to CDs inside the car, so on and so forth. Also, especially the Torah Minute itself was brilliant at teaching halacha, hashkafa, and musar, respectively. Also, we'll brush on to some of the books that he actually wrote itself. I believe there was a Torah Minute which had 300 gems from the Ben Ishchai. I think that was printed maybe in September 2009, if I'm not mistaken. Also, there was a legacy of Torah gems and practical laws by Rabbi Yaaqob Menashe, also respectively. And also another thing was inspirational Torah gems and laws. Also, I think this was separated in several different volumes, if I'm not mistaken. I think into the fourth volume itself was titled A Wellspring of Torah Gems and Practical Laws, also from the Torah Minute family also. And I think at the time, he actually wrote a book with regards to laws of the bar mitzvah, which is very, very important. I don't know if there's many books within regards to that. I believe it was published on January the 1st in the year 2000, 24 years ago, if I am not mistaken. But these were some of the books that he actually did compile at the time, the great Chacham did. Okay, so we said that he was able to connect with many people from all different walks of life, different hashkafa levels also. And I believe this book, actually, which he wrote with regards to the laws of the Bar Mitzvah, he wrote when his son, I think Rabbi Menashe, was at the age of 13 years old, if I'm not mistaken. It was reported over. I think Rabbi Menashe is a very prominent rabbi at the moment in New York. Also, I've heard a few of his excellent lectures online. And we spoke about how he could speak with regards to a blend of the halacha that Hacham Yosef Chaim, the Ben Ish Chai, was able to achieve and mastered in his life, respectively. And not many Rabbonim were able to converse this, especially in the English-speaking world, in the incredibleness that he did himself. He passed away, we said, towards the end of July 2020, I believe it was a time period where unfortunately coronavirus had, there was a lot of closures at that point in time. But especially in the Hespedim itself, I listened to some of the Hespedim. Also, all the Rabbonim would speak about the main point which he always discussed was the emet, the truth, which a Chacham had definitely mastered. He had unwavering commitment to doing the right thing. What was right? He wasn't swayed either way it was reported over. He would do what was right, even if some people would say, look, this is not popular, do something this specific way. But he knew when something was right, he didn't want to deviate and change different customs when maybe they'd have to change customs and do things. He did their met, and the amount of people that appreciate this thing is absolutely incredible. Me, myself, personally, people like to sway things and change things and stuff like that. But when you're doing something, especially when the roots is 100% pure heritage, many people especially appreciate this in the long run. And that very much he did also with regards to, especially on the topics with regards to halacha. He wouldn't like to compromise minhagim, especially Sephardi minhagim. Also business transactions or interpersonal relationships. Also, he was very strong. He reported over that he it truly embodied the midah, the characteristic of Tiferet and Emet, through the melding of two seemingly opposing traits, Hesed and Gevura. Also, you can check online at the moment. He's got many shiurim online at present. Also, he had a knack, among many other great characteristics, of leaving many of the listeners to many of his lectures with a renewed commitment to make an effort to see the good in those they encountered. It's also, he actually enjoyed, was really a people's person and liked to see people from all the walks of Jewish life share a love for each other respectively. We know, unfortunately, he passed away 4 years ago, and it was just before Tisha B'Av. And what we're trying to fix as a nation at this point in time is the wrongings of the time of the second Beit HaMikdash of Sinat Hinam, respectively, baseless hatred. But he had an Avat Yisrael for all Jews. Whichever area they were from, he loved all Jews and really wanted to touch everyone. I think I met him actually in 2009. I spent a few months in the Great Neck. This was towards, I think, October till end of December back in the year 2009. I was privileged to meet him and also his wife, Rabbanit Ruth, also, who was also a great Torah lecturer also and did huge amount of chesed itself. In fact, I think I went to a singles event, if I'm not mistaken, at the time when I was actually... I was in New York for those few months, predominantly to go for shidduchim. At that point in time, looking for a marriage partner that we're talking about 15 years ago. So I did actually myself go to one of the events, and I had the honor of meeting both him and the Rabbanit, his wife, speaking to them personally also at the time. And I found them to be very warm and great people. Also, he actually visited also India at various different times, also with his family. I think he had a close connection with different great rabbis, also including Rabbi Mordechai Eliyahu, another rabbi, and Admor, Rabbi Sinai Halberstam, if I'm not mistaken, who is actually the Zimgroda Rebbe of America. My Hasidic pronunciations is not the best, as you can see, but he was a close friend of the great Chacham. Also, he served as a senior rabbi and spiritual leader of the Sir Jacob Sassoon Charity Trust and Synagogues in India. Also, we spoke about how he was a descendant of the great philanthropist Sir Sassoon, and he was a trustee of the Sassoon Trust, working closely with another great personality, Mr. Solomon Sofer, who was, I believe, also the chairman and managing trustee of the Sir Jacob Sassoon Allied Trusts and Synagogues. And he would visit India regularly also, and he would lead the Shabbat services there. Also, I think the synagogue over there was called the Knesset Eliyahu Synagogue also, and I believe this specific synagogue was the same synagogue where Rabbi Menashe's father, Rabbi Albert, Chacham Albert, led the congregation for many, many years. He was a respected figure, as we said before, in the events that were hosted at the Knesset Eliyahu throughout many, many years. And they actually brought along various different dignitaries from all over the world also. This was a very, very famous synagogue. This is a very famous synagogue in the world, which we have to mention maybe in a separate video. Also, we talked about that, how he built the famous Midrash Ben Ishchai, which became a great organization, not just a synagogue in New York. Respectively, it will deviate and do many great things. This was built with his wife Rabbanit Ruth Menashe, also was a very great tzaddiket also, and with this organization itself came the famous Torah Minute, which brought a huge amount of Torah content and attracted obviously naturally all different walks of life, all different people from Ashkenazim, Sephardim, Hasidish to Lithuanian to modern Orthodox to Datilomi and secular Jews also respectively. That's how great it was. He also, as the Midrash Ben Ishchai, very much is a great place institution also. And as I stated before, he passed away at the time of the coronavirus, and unfortunately we lost many great Rabbonim, especially during the end of the 2020 era and 2021, especially in America at that stage in time. So please, it's his Hilula. At the moment, he passed away 4 years ago. It's actually interesting. Many of his works is in various different websites, also including midrash.org. There's also another website, nonstoptorah.com, and a torahminute.com also. So he was one of the great rabbis. A lot can be learned online. I'd recommend everyone to listen to the various hespedim that were given from his son and other great rabbis, I believe, in the New York community, respectively. This was 4 years ago also, and many of his lectures are online. His lectures and his wife's lectures, also Rabbanut Ruth's lectures, also one of the great rabbis from New York in the past 100 years. Chacham Yaaqob Menashe Z'tl. Wishing you all a great day. We've covered about 300 rabbis at the moment in the series that we've started more than 2 years ago of the great rabbis from yesteryear. So please, everyone, don't forget to share the videos, and hopefully we'll cover a lot more great chachamim of yesteryear also. And wishing you all a great day, and just brachot from Israel.